I was actually a university student at the time, and Madiba had just been released from jail. And I had been wondering, why are all these leaders going on and on? You know, at the time it was Bill Clinton, and everyone was going on about how meeting him is the greatest experience of their lives. And I thought, you know, they're really overdoing it. I mean, like what could be so great? And I remember walking out of the library of the university, and there were this screaming students going wild. And there was Madiba with his bodyguards and my mother, who was in charge of public relations and communications for the university at the time. And she was walking with him, showing him around. And then she spotted me and she said to him, "That's my daughter." And he said, "Come." I stepped forward and his guards blocked me. And he said, "No, let her come." And what struck me was when he shook my hand and looked at me, and he's very tall. I think I came up to his hip. He looked so deeply into my eyes as if I was the only living being, the most important human being in the world to him. You know, that sense of presence I've only felt from really great saints and monks in India. And he said, "It's such an honor to meet you." And I thought, what? I looked at him and I said, "It's such an honor to meet you." But just that presence, you know, it wasn't because he was famous. It wasn't because of what he had done. It was because of this presence of his being. And there were all these screaming, dancing students all around, but he was absolutely, there was this stillness and this presence. And I just remember my knees shaking afterwards for about an hour. It was such a magical experience. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I love that. Again, this is the Incredible Machine podcast, and that is the pinnacle. Madiba would be the pinnacle of the Incredible Machine for me. And we talked about this prior to the session today. But the Incredible Machine for me is that person that changes the room. I use the example of Brian Habana. But what you've just talked about right there is exactly what I'm talking about. Somebody that, and again, that's the sort of the pinnacle of